The pristine valleys of Kashmir, once a symbol of tranquility, became the epicenter of a terrifying storm on April 22, 2025. A horrific massacre of tourists shattered the region's fragile peace. India pointed fingers at Pakistan-based terrorists. Pakistan vehemently denied any involvement. The incident, steeped in accusations and denials, ignited a powder keg of historical animosity and mistrust. The world watched with bated breath as tensions between the nuclear-armed neighbors escalated rapidly. The specter of a full-blown war loomed large. The international community called for restraint, urging both sides to step back from the brink. But the flames of conflict, once ignited, proved difficult to extinguish. This latest chapter in the long and troubled history of India-Pakistan relations is a stark reminder of the volatility of the region. The Kashmir dispute, a festering wound for over 7 decades, remains a major obstacle to peace. As long as this core issue remains unresolved, the potential for conflict will continue to cast a long shadow over South Asia. The events that unfolded in the wake of the Kashmir massacre serve as a cautionary tale. They underscore the urgent need for dialogue, diplomacy, and a genuine commitment to peace from both India and Pakistan. The alternative is too terrifying to contemplate. India, fueled by anger and grief, launched Operation Sindoor. This military operation targeted alleged terrorist camps within Pakistan and Pakistan-administered Kashmir. Indian Air Force jets roared across the border, their payloads aimed at dismantling the infrastructure of terror. The operation, according to Indian officials, was a necessary response to the heinous act of violence in Kashmir. Pakistan, refusing to be cowed, retaliated with Operation Bunyan Marsus. Their armed forces, claiming self-defense, engaged in cross-border strikes of their own. The skies over Kashmir became a deadly ballet of fighter jets, each side determined to inflict maximum damage on the other. The exchange of fire, a dangerous escalation in the conflict, pushed the two nations closer to the precipice of war. The international community watched with growing alarm as the situation spiraled. The United States, recognizing the gravity of the situation, stepped in to mediate. The U.S., acutely aware of the catastrophic consequences of a nuclear confrontation, initiated high-level diplomatic efforts. President Trump, Vice President Vance, and Secretary of State Rubio engaged in frantic phone calls with their Indian and Pakistani counterparts. As Operation Sindoor and Operation Bunyan Marsus raged, diplomatic channels buzzed with activity. The United States, recognizing the urgent need to de-escalate the situation, took the lead in mediating a ceasefire. President Trump, leveraging his personal relationships with both Indian Prime Minister Modi and Pakistani Prime Minister Sharif, played a pivotal role. The negotiations were tense and complex. Both India and Pakistan, deeply invested in their respective positions, were initially reluctant to back down. However, the specter of a wider conflict, potentially escalating to the nuclear level, weighed heavily on all sides. After days of intense diplomatic efforts, a breakthrough was achieved. On May 10, 2025, a ceasefire agreement was reached. The agreement, brokered by the United States with the support of 36 other countries, brought a fragile peace to the region. The world breathed a collective sigh of relief. The ceasefire, while a significant achievement, represented only the first step on a long and arduous road to peace. Deep-seated mistrust, historical grievances, and the unresolved Kashmir issue continued to cast a long shadow over the region. The short but intense conflict exacted a heavy toll on both sides. While the ceasefire brought an end to the fighting, it could not erase the pain and suffering endured. Dozens of lives were lost, including innocent civilians caught in the crossfire. The human cost of conflict, as always, proved to be the most devastating. Pakistan reported 11 civilian deaths, including a child, and 56 injuries. The bustling streets of Pakistani cities near the border were left deserted. Homes and businesses were reduced to rubble. In India, a government official was killed, and several military personnel were injured. The conflict also left a trail of destruction on military infrastructure. Both sides claimed to have inflicted significant damage on each other's military installations. Tanks lay charred and fighter jets were reduced to twisted metal. The scars of war, both physical and psychological, would take years, if not generations, to heal. Section 5. Claims and Counterclaims, the Fog of War. In the aftermath of the conflict, both India and Pakistan engaged in a war of words. Each side claimed victory, highlighting their military successes and downplaying their losses. The fog of war, thick with propaganda and misinformation, made it difficult to discern the truth. India claimed to have downed several Pakistani aircraft and lost 5 military personnel. Pakistan, on the other hand, claimed to have shot down 5 Indian jets and lost 35 to 40 personnel. These conflicting narratives, fueled by nationalist sentiment, further complicated the already tense situation. Adding to the confusion, Pakistan declared victory on May 10, 2025, the same day the ceasefire came into effect. This declaration, met with skepticism from India and the international community, highlighted the deep mistrust that continues to plague relations between the two countries. As news of the ceasefire spreads, reactions pour in from both sides of the border. Citizens express a mix of relief and skepticism. Many hope this truce will last, bringing an end to the years of tension and conflict. However, there are also voices of doubt, questioning the durability of this agreement given the history of fragile truces. Moving forward, both nations face the challenge of maintaining this newfound peace. Diplomatic efforts must be strengthened, and mutual trust needs to be built. Economic and cultural exchanges could play a crucial role in fostering better relations. The path ahead is fraught with challenges, but with sustained effort, a stable and peaceful future is possible. The international community has always had a vested interest in the India-Pakistan conflict. Major powers like the United States, China, and Russia have often played roles in mediating tensions. Their strategic interests and alliances influence the dynamics of the region. Global players can either act as catalysts for peace, or inadvertently escalate the situation through their actions. Achieving lasting peace between India and Pakistan is a complex and multifaceted endeavor. It requires not just political will, but also the support and engagement of the people. Grassroots initiatives, dialogue, and reconciliation efforts are essential. While the road to lasting peace is long and uncertain, the hope for a harmonious future remains a powerful motivator for both nations.